Hi there, Jamie Keat here today at Teachers Tech. Hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm excited to bring you information about bringing podcast into your classroom. Now, I'm excited about bringing you this for a couple reasons. One, I just think podcasts are such a great way to empower teachers' voice, to share in professional learning, and also for students to bring their voice out too through projects. It helps in so many different ways through communication, critical thinking, creativity, communication. It's such a great method, and Synth here makes it very, very easy to jump right into podcasting. Now, the other reason I'm excited about this is I have Seti from Flip Classroom's tutorial helping me out on this, and he's going to walk you through the process of setting everything up. I'll have the link to his channel down below in the description too. Go check it out because he has a ton of information to help teachers and students to digitize their classroom, to help flip their classroom. So let's get started on this walkthrough today that Seti's going to give you with Synth, and I'll put the links to the site and everything down below. But let's get started here at Teachers Tech.
Hi, my name is Seti, and first of all, before anything, let me just say thank you, Jamie, for having me on your channel. Now, today I'm going to be showing everyone how to use Synth or Synth, and Synth is basically a platform that allows you to do bite-sized podcasting, and it's amazing for both students, teachers, or anyone interested in podcasting in general. So let's dive into it. Synth is part of a micro-podcasting movement. It's sort of the Twitter of podcasting. You're limited to 256 seconds for each synth, but you can stitch them all together into a longer podcast. Now, where can you find it? Simply go to the URL gosynth.com. Now, once you're here, you can click on sign up, and then you can choose how you would like to sign up. Now, just to make it easy, I'm going to use continue with Google, but you can use your own credentials if you choose. So go ahead and click on continue with Google, give it permission, and here we are. We are now on the Synth platform. Now, the first thing I'd like you to note is at the top, you'll see there are three different buttons. We have a feed, explore, and podcasts. Now, what are these? Now, the feed is where you can play all your synths or your short micro podcasts, and they will automatically play one after another. The second section, Explore, is where you can find all the other public podcasts created by others. Now, the last section, that's where you will be stitching your synths together into your own podcasts, and where you can set the settings of each individual podcast to either be public or private. Now, let's go ahead and click on Podcasts. We're going to now create our very first podcast. Now, in the podcast menu, we're going to click on Create Podcast. It's asking for a podcast name, and I'm going to call this the Flipped Teachers Collaboration. And there we go. Our podcast is now ready to be published. Now, you can see there's three options yet again. Now, the top will give you the link that people will use to listen to your podcast. You can share this anywhere you'd like. The second one is a link and participation code. That means if you share this link, people can add to your podcast and they can leave 256-second long synths. So this will add to a collaborative podcast. And at the bottom, we have the option of embedding our podcast onto a website. You could embed this on a Google Sites or any other platform that allows you to use embed code. Now let's go ahead and close this for now, because now we need to start recording our podcast. I'm now inside my podcast, and what I'm going to do to record my first synth is I'm going to press on that plus icon that you see there. So let's go ahead and click that together. This opens up the built-in recorder, and I can record a 256-second long synth. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Hi, this is Seti from Flipped Classroom Tutorials, and I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts on this collaborative podcast environment. Now, synths are great because they're not only short, but it's also very easy to stitch multiple synths together and to collaborate with others, as I am doing right here with Jamie. Now, I'm going to save this first synth, and I'm looking forward to hearing Jamie's response in this same podcast. Now, once you've recorded a synth, you can listen back to it, or you can continue recording and add to it. Once you're happy with the result, simply click on Done. Now, once you click on Done, your synth will be uploaded to their servers. Now, in this next part of the menu, you can now add a little chime before your synth, or you can simply leave it as it is. So let's go ahead and add a chime. And I'm going to select the intro, radio intro. Let's go ahead and click on Add. So we now have two parts to this first synth. We have a radio intro and my recording. At the top, we can turn on transcription, and this will allow us to then also have a transcription of everything that was said. And as you can see, they're not ideal. But what we can do is we can now go to the top and we can click on edit and take out all of the mistakes. So go ahead and do that right now. Click on edit and then take out all the grammatical or the spelling mistakes. Once the transcription was edited and updated, you simply click on next. You can create a custom title now for your synth, and we're going to simply call this intro. You can add some hashtags, and all these will help you in the discovery part of making your synths public. And if you're using this in class or with students, you can even link to relevant documents or websites that you would like to use. And there we go. Now, as soon as we click on send, this synth goes live within our podcast. Now here I have 3 more options to make this podcast even better. I can add a header image to make it more personalized. The second option is my sharing. So let's go ahead and click on share, and you will see the same options appear. I can have a web link for people to listen. I can share it and have a participation code so they can add their own synths into the podcast, or I can get an embed code. Down the bottom there is a little toggle, and if I toggle this on, it will also become visible within the explore part of GoSynth. Now I'm going to keep it private for now, and we're going to just leave it as it is. Now the 3 dots are going to give you access to the settings window and also allow you to download the entire podcast as an audio file. This is great if you want to use it offline. And that's all there is to synth. Thank you, Jamie, for having me over on your channel, and I can't wait to see your video on the Flipped Classroom Tutorials channel. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Thank you, Seti, for that great rundown of Synth. I think a lot of teachers can really take advantage of how simple this program is to use. The other thing I just wanted to point out was take a look at the blog feature here on the site. You're going to see lots of good articles that could help you decide how to use this in your classroom, and also check the podcast out where they had some competitions, and it shows the use from elementary all the way up to high school. So lots of good examples to help you in setting up your own podcast. Let us know if you're interested in learning more about podcasts. Leave some comments down below in the comments section. Well, that's it for this week. And remember to check out Seti's channel. The link's down below. Flipped Classroom Tutorials. It's awesome. There's an awesome amount of information there. I'll see you next week on Teachers Tech.